kind of an interesting question. I might be in the wrong in this one.
Okay.
So I'm coming into the space. Hopefully it's judgment free. But
We'll see.
so I have been dating someone for a year and a half now,
Uh-huh.
and I do not know how to start the financial conversation without emasculating him or making him feel less than.
Okay.
And I've asked my girlfriends and they've given me some good advice, but I still feel like very unsure about how to go about this. To give you a little bit of like kind of a full picture on my background, I grew up with parents who were in the financial kind of like world. My dad was a banker, my mom was a wealth manager. So the conversation of money has never been anything to shy away from in our household. But sorry, I'm a little nervous. I've never been on a live before.
You're good.
But with this guy, he was telling me that his friend and his friend's wife now, the way they talk about money is very emasculating. And it kind of scared me off the whole conversation with him because he thought his friend's wife was emasculating him by telling him to pay for things around the house or something like that, something along those lines. And I was like, wow, if that's how you feel about something simple, how would you feel if we talked about, hey, if we're planning a life together, let's sit down, have a spreadsheet, talk about what comes in, what goes out, investments. And I don't know if he's going to be okay with that conversation.
Okay. How old are you two?
I am 30 and he's 36.
Okay. And how did y'all meet?
We met through a mutual friend.
Okay. What is
One of my good friends was in residency with him. He's a second year resident, and they knew each other, so that's how we met.
Nice. What does he do for a living?
He's in his third year of residency right now.
Nice.
He's going into anesthesia. He will be an anesthesiologist next year.
Okay. And what's your profession?
I am in the finance world as well. I'm a wealth manager.
Nice. Okay. So you want to be aligned financially, and
Very much so.
he has
A lot of
said
debt.
things about he has a lot of debt, obviously he went to medical
Yes,
school.
a
But then
lot of that, yes.
but then also
Close
he's
to $500,000.
yikes. Is it medical school that expensive? Jesus
Yes.
Christ. Okay.
I mean, he went to school in New York, so I feel like he chose an expensive school for. I have no idea why. If he knew me from then, I would have advised him to choose a different school.
Right.
But yeah.
Whoa, okay. Yeah, definitely a conversation needs to be had for sure. How long have you been together?
1 year and 6 months.
Okay. Do y'all live together?
No.
Okay. Okay.
And we will not live together until we're married.
Gotcha. And what is your goal with having this conversation?
To kind of have transparency, honestly, and to kind of understand where his head is at with money. I think he has the mentality of just drown your problems with money, make more money, and you will not care about where the money goes or how you're spending, which is okay. You know, a lot of people do think that way, but I spend strategically, and it boggles me when people just make money to spend it and make more to cover up their mistakes.
Okay.
And I don't want to come off judgmental for anyone on the live or even to him.
No, you're good.
I understand people grow up differently, and money is just one of those things that, it depends on how you grew up around money. It affects your relationship with money along the way.
Sure. I mean, it's the number one cause for divorce, right?
Yes.
So it's an important conversation to be had. I think your fears, though, are misplaced. I get why you have the fear, though. But this is a compatibility conversation, meaning if the simple request of being more transparent financially just to make sure y'all are on the same page makes him upset, then it's just going to be y'all are incompatible.
Okay.
So I would
My
say
question is, how do I approach this conversation? Because the way I'm thinking about it, I just feel like it would be offensive.
No, not you got to frame it the right way.
Right.
So you frame it
I
as
don't
just
know.
like you're not saying, "Let me see how much money you made." Like you don't do that. You don't. Nor do you just straight up ask. You have to have a
I was planning
pre-conversation.
to ask for his bank statements and kind of treat him like one of my clients, but I feel like that's very offensive. It's like unsolicited advice.
Yeah. So don't frame it like that. Frame it as if like this is what's good for the relationship. Like most people get divorced because of financial problems because they're not on the same financial page. I would like us both to make sure we're on the same page with that. Because do you want to be divorced? I certainly don't want to be divorced. Right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
let's figure out what that looks like. Maybe have it open ended like that and see what he thinks.
Oh,
Kind
I
of
like
gauge,
that. Okay.
right? Kind of gauge like
Have him
what do you think that
contribute.
looks like,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, so it's not like you kind of like that. That's how you address the emasculating thing because you're not grabbing the steering wheel.
Okay.
You're kind of creating an opportunity for you to co-create this experience with him. So you just ask him, what do you think that looks like? He would be like, oh, well, I just. And based on how he responds to that, you can kind of gauge how open he is to it.
Okay.
Well, okay, that
And,
makes
and
sense.
another thing
Go ahead.
that scares me is that he thinks having okay, the medical school debt is one thing. He's not ashamed of that. It's like, okay, I needed to get the loans. But I feel like he has other debts from credit cards and cars that I feel like he's ashamed of. And even when we talk about it, just passingly, like not even a serious conversation, he says, oh, I can't wait to clear it all out and then we can start fresh together. So I'm like, is there some shame there? And I feel like he has someone that can help him, but he's not utilizing my help.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's something that's going to be a roadblock for you. I mean, it could be, but that's why you're starting this conversation in such an open-ended way, so you can kind of gauge where he's at with it, and you can kind of ease into that. There's many ways to approach it. Like you can also plant seeds. One thing I've done with people in the past is like if I'm aware of something like that, I'll address it in a way that has nothing to do with them. I've told this to clients before, especially back when I was just coaching men. I was like, yo, there's something you don't like about a woman. Complain about that same quality in another woman to her
Mm,
and
I
see
like that.
if she picks up on
Yeah.
it. Like, yeah, dude, this girl I work with, she talks all the time and she never lets me get a word in. Like, I want to have a conversation with people. It's like annoying, right? It's annoying when people don't like let you ever get a word in. And she's in her mind like, I probably should let him talk more, right? So
Mm,
it's a strategy that you can also use here, but the primary one is going to be that open-ended discussion. Make sure you're framing it the right way so that his guard isn't immediately up when you bring the conversation to him.
okay. Sounds good. I will do that. Thank
Okay,
you.
so follow up with me. Let me know how it goes. All right.
Okay, will do.
All right, dear. You have a good one.
You too. Thank you.
I give y'all so much free game up here. So much free game. So much free game. What's going on? We might have to pass the collection plate around at the end of this live. We might have to do it. I don't like doing it, but I might have to do it this time. Might have to do it this time. People ask me questions and I forget about shit that I know. It's the ADHD thing. Like ADHD memory is associative. So you have to say something to me that like I associate with that thing that I've completely forgotten about to access that memory. She's going to be balling soon. She's going to miss out for not being patient. I mean, I think she's doing well for herself as well. So this isn't a patience thing though. She's just making sure she's not getting with somebody who is going to spin frivolously. You know, that's all. Yeah, she's not concerned with the debt though. It's not what she said. She didn't say like the debt is a problem. She said that she wants to make sure they're viewing money in a similar way. So when they get married, he's not just buying any and everything. I guarantee you, Shorty, I won't guarantee you, but Izzy, be quiet. It's my dog in there whining. I will, if I was a betting man, the one who called in here and they were talking about how like their husband wanted them to work. Normally, Shorty is spending. She's spending. And no one spends like a person who ain't worked for the shit. Nobody spends like that person. That person who didn't make it and they got access to it, they gonna run up a tab. They gonna run up a tab. Right? So he was like, get your ass to work so you can appreciate this money coming in. So, yeah, she wants to make sure they're in alignment. I used to work for a personal finance company. You ever seen that show on Netflix, I Would Teach You to Be Rich? I think it's a New York Times best-selling book, I Would Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. I used to work for him with marketing. He was also a client of mine on TikTok when I had the TikTok agency. And he does a podcast now where he like talks to couples and helps them with like getting in more alignment financially, because it's a big issue. And it's one people don't consider until they get married, and then they see the spending habits of the person they're with, and they try to merge like finances and stuff like that, and it just becomes this big thing. Ramit be putting me on game. He knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's talking about. He's nice with that shit. Super nice. Interesting fellow too. I will say that. All right, people, this is a dating and relationship Q&A. If you have any questions pertaining to dating and relationships, you can hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person, and I will bring you up and solve your issue. Let's see if this person connects. Let's see. It's not looking like it, so I'm going to drop you really quick. The bed and breakfast is back in the picture. Why, Maya? Why? Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Great, how are you?
So, I never thought I was going to get on, so this is my backup account because I don't want my friends to know
I get it.
that I'm even going through something like this.
What's going on?
But I was dating an avoidant, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of knew that he was avoidant, but I still stayed because I thought that I can love the avoidant up out of him, which was a da-da-da on my behalf.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like, since I've went into no contact, I feel like so much shame and so much self-blame. And I just do not know how to get over that part.
Shame and blame for what?
For staying as long as I did, thinking that I can love the avoidant up out of him.
Okay. How old are you?
So what I'm 45.
Okay. All right. That's fine. You're all right. Was this your first go with like an avoidantly attached person, like knowingly?
It was. I was married for 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was different, right? I will say that this was kind of like the worst relationship I have ever been in, because I've never did the whole push and pull type of situation and the fake ghosting and coming back. And it's just like, I'm trying to understand him, but I felt like I self-abandoned so much that it's like, man, now that I'm healing and doing the healing process, I feel so much shame, so much self-blame. Like, why did I allow this? Like, what in me wanted to be chosen by this person so bad that I allowed this ill treatment?
Right.
So I don't know. Like, I always watch you. And I just wanted some advice as far as to how, because I ruminate a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, although I left the situation, it's like the rumination of what if I would have done this, or what if I would have done that. And it's just like, I don't know, because I mean, the signs was there, right? The jumping from relationship to relationship to relationship, and I'm like, and I would ask questions like, so are you sure it's not you? But I don't know why I thought that I was above the program.
Right. It happens to all
But
of us.
it's just like I just don't know how to stop with that rumination.
Rumination after the fact?
Huh?
Rumination after the fact, like after breaking up with you?
After the fact, I think I was still hoping for that person that showed up at the very beginning to continue to be that person. And it's like I don't know if I'm grieving the life that I thought that I was gonna have, or the life I thought I was gonna have with that person.
Right. How long ago did it end?
So it ended on Father's Day, and this is so weird because I lost my mom, my dad, and all of my siblings. So it's just me that's living. So I was at the cemetery on Father's Day, and I called him and wished him a happy Father's Day, and he never spoke to me after that.
So did you end it, or did he like, was this a ghosting situation?
No, he just like ghosted. He just like ghosted me, and it like when I talked to my best friend about it, she was like, did you ever notice that every time it was something that was good or something that you wanted to celebrate, he always almost like sabotaged it. It was always a problem beforehand. You know?
How long ago was Father's Day? I don't know. When was that?
June 20th.
Okay.
June 20th.
So it hasn't been that long. Yeah, part of this is going to be grief. It's a big part of it, right? That's why you got to like feel the emotions. It's best to just feel the emotions without going up here. That's what messes people up. They'll feel something and they start thinking about it. Don't think about it, just feel, right? Easier said than done, I know, but that's what you would need to do, is just focus on the feeling. But the second thing is also how things ended. Because it was ghosting. It wasn't like you deciding to end it and then ending it. It was like something you still thought you had, and then it left, and it didn't even leave in a clear way. It just disappeared. You know, it's almost like
it was.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. It was the weirdest thing ever because he came off as being a secure person, right? But then when there was conflict, I noticed that he had a low capacity to deal with conflict, and it was like, this is not really a problem. I just don't like certain things. Like, can we address this? And he always felt like avoiding it would just fix it. And if I brought something up, it was always like an argument. And he would say, oh, I don't want to argue. And I'm like, who's arguing? Like, why don't you have conflict resolution skills as a man, as a 51-year-old man? Like, this is weird. But it's like, I've never seen this type of behavior before.
Right.
I've never seen this before. Ever. But it's like I'm stuck in my head and I just can't get out of my head, and I don't know. I'm just struggling.
How long were you with him?
For a year.
Okay, how long did y'all date before y'all got together?
I want to say about 4 or 5 months.
Okay. Yeah, love, this is just something you have to grieve. Like, it's still fresh. Like, we're in August. It happened in June. So even when he did ghost you in June, there was probably a few weeks where you probably considered that he may come back. Maybe even a month, right? Like, when did you come to the conclusion that he was going?
I think, if I'm being honest, maybe like the 4th of like July. Because I was just so confused as to like what happened. Like, nothing really happened. And we have mutual friends, and I was told that he was beginning to do a whole triangulation thing where I'm thinking everything was okay, but he's like, oh, she don't want I don't have any freedom. And I'm like, what? Yeah, he felt like he was taking away his freedom. And I was like, what do you mean? Just because you're 51 years old, right? Why you want to be with your friends every weekend? Why can't we do something? Right? So it was like, it wasn't trying to take away his freedom. It was like, where do you find your balance between your friendships and your partner?
Right. Right. Yeah, you're speaking objectively and not factoring in his subjective experience and just how avoidant people are wired. I just have to accept that this was an avoidantly attached person, which is why he was single at 51, more than likely. And this had nothing to do with you. Replace you with another person, same thing happens.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm struggling with. Like, is it a me thing? Like, what's wrong with me? I think I'm internalizing it.
Right.
Like, what is wrong with me? And I kind of clicked out after it happened because I'm like, I'm grieving. I'm grieving the death of my mom. My mom just passed away not even a year ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And I'm like, why would you do this? And why wouldn't you give me a conversation even at that big old age?
Right.
And I just think that I'm just internalizing a lot of things and I can't get out of my head.
Okay.
With it.
Okay.
But yeah.
I mean, it happens. So, like, do you talk to people about this?
I do, but it's like, I don't want to be redundant to people.
Like, how frequently do you talk about this issue?
Well, not that often.
What about
Not that often.
What about to yourself?
Oh, yeah, often.
Right. Right.
The self-talk is crazy.
Right.
The self-talk is crazy.
Yeah. That's something that you would practice, that I would recommend stop doing. You have to learn the skill of containment. Right? So when you ever got mad about something, like something happened in your day and it pissed you off, and then you got over it, and then you ran into one of your friends and you start telling them about what happened, and then in the process of doing that, you get mad again. When you express that type of stuff, you breathe new life into it. It's part of the reason why biblically, I don't know if you're a Christian, but Lot's wife was told not to turn around.
Because you become salty.
Yeah. You live in the past, right? It's breathing new life into, it's like let the dead bury their dead, right? Like you're breathing new life into a dead situation.
Yeah, I literally felt like it was a humiliation ritual because by trade, I'm a biochemist and I work for NASA.
Okay.
And I was posted over everything, but then when I went back and just looked at things, it was like he couldn't stop being friends with his exes. Like, why do you need to be friends with your exes? Inappropriate conversations with women online. Like, it was like the signs was there.
Right.
And it was like, I just said, oh, I'm going to join the circus.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
I told you, we all been there. We all been there. Listen, I done slipped on a few peanut shells and did a few juggling myself, But it's like, you just live and you learn. Like, these aren't wasted experiences as long as you extract the lesson from it.
Yeah, and I think that the lesson for me was to learn how to not to self-abandon. Because I'm going through grief and because I feel that wound of closeness because my whole core family is gone. So I think for that, the lesson for me was not to self-abandon. But it's like, I don't know, like, having such a high IQ sometimes I feel like it drives you crazy because you think about things on a different level. And it's like a repetitive thing. And I almost feel like I did get tested for autism. because I was on a spectrum because I was like, I don't think that none of this is normal how I think.
Right.
But I just need help with, I guess, with the rumination. How do I stop the rumination? Like,
Well, yeah, you stop expressing it. That's one thing. You can find other things to be involved with, right? Because when you keep expressing it, keep talking about it, even to yourself, you give it power, and you can swap out thoughts, right? I used to, before I gave my life back to Christ, I was into the spiritual realm, right? And there was this guy who was real spiritual, who was he used to say something like, when he got negative thoughts, he would like banish the thought. He would like say, I banished that thought, right? And he made a YouTube video about it, and so many it sounds silly, but so many people would do it and it would work, because he wouldn't engage in the thought that he wouldn't want to engage into. He would just like he would reject it, and then he would just stop thinking about it. As a Christian, I'd go a different route with it. I just like throw Jesus' name on it, right? Like rebuke it. But like it's the same concept though, right? Like you just reject it. You just refuse to think about it. You can do that. You have that power. What you're doing though is you're just letting autopilot take over.
yeah.
You want to think about it, so therefore you're continuing to think about it. You just have to decide not to anymore. And then over time, it stops. Because you stop giving it power. You stop giving it your attention. Your reticular activating system kind of realizes that that's something that is not significant to you. Like, you know what the reticular activating system is? It's that mechanism in the brain that selective focus.
Yeah. What it is.
Mm-hmm.
But
I figured.
like, it's just so weird, and not to disrespect anyone that's on here, but it's like I was looking at him and I was like, okay, yeah, you got this wrong and this is not right. And I don't know what made me think that I can love the avoiding of out of here instead of not paying attention to the patterns, because the patterns tell you everything besides the words. The words
Right.
was there, but the patterns said something different. And I know better, because recognizing patterns is what keep me alive in the lab.
Right.
But I don't know why I could not
But it's because you're treating yourself like a robot. Right? Like you're not emotionally connected to anything that happens in the lab.
Right.
You're not looking at anything in the lab as having the symbolic meaning of bringing into your life someone else to love, given all the loss that you've incurred, right? So it doesn't take the same level of significance. This was a very significant connection to you, given the context of your life and the things that you've lost. So you took it very hard, and you ignored things that you shouldn't have because you let the emotions overpower the logic, and you allowed yourself to do that because you're a human, and we all do it in different ways. There's a person listening to you right now being like, I would never do that, and they're a binge eater who's eating away their emotions. We do it in different ways, right? So don't judge yourself for it. It's just, you're human.
Yeah, I think I'm real hard on myself because I'm like, how did I abandon myself to that point
Right.
where I allowed for a person to show me things and my logic didn't kick in. Like, logically, it didn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are you a 51-year-old man and you don't have anything? Why am I even here, first of all? Like, why am I even here? Like, we're not even a match. And I looked at one of your videos one day where you said that the dating apps is where all the avoidant people are. And that's where I met him. Oh, my God. And I think I looked at one of your videos as well when you was like, the dating apps put people together that was never supposed to meet. Never.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Never.
Y'all gonna listen to me one day. One day y'all gonna listen.
It was the dating apps, and when I looked at your video on the dating apps, I was like, I was like, he's onto something. He's onto something. He's onto something. They did.
Mm-hmm.
He said they got me auntie. They did. Oh my God. Yeah, but I just felt like it was a humiliation ritual because it was like, oh, she's so smart, she's so this, she's so that, and he was playing in my face with a banjo.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, like I said, it happens to everybody, but it's like eventually you just have to let it go. And that's a
Yeah.
decision. But people oftentimes drag their feet with that decision because it's the last tether to that person.
Yeah, because I asked a question before and you told me, I said, how do I get over this person? You said, as plain as day, act like they're dead.
Right, that's it.
Oh my God.
That's it.
Thank
That's all
you guys
gotta
so
do.
much. Thank you so much for even talking to me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, love. I wish you the best, all right?
Thank you.
All right, you take care. All right. Who else do we have? Everybody from the Q drop. Y'all couldn't be patient, huh? Y'all couldn't wait? If you have a question pertaining to dating and relationships, you can hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person. I will bring you up and solve your issue. Whatever it may be, just take advantage. You should take advantage. Y'all don't know how long I'm going to be here. Not death. Not that. Knock on wood. Ain't got any wood. Well, if I get super busy, I can't do these lives anymore, right? You gotta take advantage. Take advantage of the situation. So if you have a pressing issue, you should call in. If you don't want people to be all in your business, then just create a spam account and call in that way. They probably had the same questions. You leaving it? No. One day I will. Like as this business grows, I can't do these lives forever, so you better enjoy it while you have it. They got Dolly, man. They got Dolly Parton. I thought she already was dead, to be honest with you. But R.I.P. to Dolly Parton. A lot of deaths happen. What was that guy who died recently? I think he played in Beetlejuice, didn't he? What was his name? Or Batman or some shit, right? They got Dolly on Aaliyah Day. Is today Aaliyah Day? He played in It. Yeah, he was It the Clown, right? Tim Curry, that's his name? That's crazy. And then Hayden Panettiere, is that how you pronounce her name? Found it out in Dallas. I was raising the roof, partying. Looked at my phone. Hayden? That was very surprising. Very surprising. Hayden hurt my millennial heart. Same. Remember her in she was in Remember the Titans, right? And Heroes, that TV show, wasn't she? Vaguely remember it. Not sure. She'll take about fell out the pool when she heard about Hayden, right? Bro, you showed me a pic of her while we were in line. I was like, yeah, she's cute. Yeah, I showed Kiana. Who was it? Kiana and Gigi. I was showing them Hayden died. We were in line waiting. I'm gonna tell y'all about that line too, cause they about pissed me off. And I was like, Hayden died. You know, Gigi speaks 8 languages, so I guess she didn't process it right. Kiana must have been drunk or it was too late. You know, she has to hit the hay, right? She couldn't fall asleep because Hannah kept snoring all night. Eva did as well. Had to keep repeating it. Hell, oh, I said she died, and they responded like a positive way. I was like, wait, y'all beefing? Y'all beefing with Hayden? What Hayden do to y'all? Do y'all not like white women? The third time I repeated it, that's when they were like, oh, she's dead? Yeah, that's what I told you the first time. What did y'all hear? Now, about that fucking line. So, this where they annoyed me. Not Gigi. Gigi, we're here. Gigi didn't do it. I want to say it was Kiana, Bobby. Who else was it? Was it Zach? Was Zach with us? It was at least 3 of y'all. We pull up to, what's the name of the spot? Double D's? Long ass line out front. It was like a club. It was a lounge technically. Long ass line out front, right? Bunch of questionable looking people. Questionable looking people, right? The Black and Mild crew. So, we're walking. Hannah and them they arrived like half an hour to an hour before us. So they're further up in line. And the line is not moving. I repeat, the line is not moving. So we're walking up. We see Hannah. Hannah waves. Bobby and Kiana and them keep walking as if they're going to join the line where Hannah is. Me and Gigi in the back. Because I already know what's about to go down. It's hot. The line ain't moving. These people been out here for a minute. If you think this crowd is about to let you cut the line, you got another thing coming. This is not Six Flags. Huh? This ain't Six Flags. You know how the theme park? This is real life, baby. Shit can get real really quickly. I just watched. I said, I'm going to wait until somebody gets pissed off in this line, and then they come back here with their tail between their legs. The whole line reacted, and the bouncer reacted. The doorman reacted. Now, Bobby ended up cutting the line because he's smooth with it, and he's also 5'2". So he was acting like he was dancing, looking for something, and then he limboed under like the tape to get into line. And then he looked at us and winked. So, forgot to tell that little Dallas tale. But I also blame Hannah because she also waved as if she was signaling for us to break in line, knowing what was going to happen. I would have finessed my way into the front or went home. I don't think so. I did want to go back to the crib though, because I'm like, it's hot. We're in line. I promise you, whatever's going on there is not as fun. I promise you that. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Okay, I have like a weird question. I mean, I think I know the answer, but like, I think it would be good to get your perspective on this.
Sure.
So like, I keep coming across your videos and other videos on like how to attract women, whatever, generally speaking. Like it comes down to spark, safety, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And I see these other tactics too. And you kind of just get overwhelmed. Like, what are you supposed to like focus on? Because right now, okay, me, I'm like 20 years old, okay? Mm-hmm. And it's been a year since I got into something with someone. Last time I got dumped, whatever. I don't know the reason, whatever. I could assume it's probably because she didn't like me enough, whatever. And now, kind of something is going on with someone, and she's like, I would say she's like so out of my league. I know I'm not supposed to say that, whatever, right? Like, but it's going well, whatever. And then what happened last time, and then I keep seeing these videos, it just like you get overwhelmed. Like, what are you supposed to focus on? Like, I know I'm supposed to focus on work and everything, and work is going really well. Like, if I really lock in, I could genuinely like kind of get rich in like a few months. Like, business is kind of popping off, whatever, right here. So yeah, I don't know. And now I'm just like focusing on the whole thing with this girl that just came into my life. I just met her like 20 days ago. I'm already planning the second date, whatever. I don't know. So like, yeah.
What's the problem?
The problem is I think I'm focusing too much on her instead of work and everything. Like, adjusting to all these micro details. Like you guys talk about on TikTok, like, oh, spark, safety, do this, do that, optimize this, text this way, do that way. And then I'm doing too much of that, I think.
Yeah, so
It's like kind of getting to
you don't all of those videos that you're seeing, they're made to solve a particular problem. They're not meant for you to like download all of them into your brain and try to apply them. So I'll give you an example. A guy who's not so all of this stuff, when we talk about like game, right?
yeah.
That was invented by a lot of like guys who were not good with women observing men who were. Meaning men who would deal with women and just had successful encounters without knowing anything about any of those videos that I put out. So I say that to tell you that it's something you don't have to know. Okay? Just want to establish that. You don't have to know it. But the utility of it comes from if you are experiencing a certain problem, here is the solution for it. So let me ground this. For example, if you are dealing with a woman who keeps putting you in the friend zone, or your constant experience is being put in the friend zone, or you can't make it past the first or second date or something like that, then you probably have a spark issue. But if you're able to get a woman go on dates and progress into a relationship, you don't have an issue with that. So there's no need to apply the information that is in that video because reality has shown you that you don't have a problem here. Does that make sense? So what you're doing is you're trying to optimize something that doesn't necessarily need to be optimized. And then you're weighing all the advice equally, which I understand. You're 20, limited experience, makes sense. But no, you should be focused on like if there is a problem, how do I solve the problem? Same thing is true in business. In business, you don't want to optimize everything. You want to focus on the bottleneck, right? What is the thing holding me back? What is the thing that if I solve that one thing leads to more results? Yeah, all these other things could be improved, but improving them won't lead to me making more money. But if I improve this one thing, I will make a lot more money. Make sense?
But like also I noticed like if something doesn't go my way, like especially with the one right now, I just like think, okay, is it like the issue that I didn't talk properly on the first day? Did I not like do like other things or whatever? And it just kind of makes you like overthink, and then you start focusing on all these things. The whole thing with game, basically, even though you know like okay, it's just spark and safety simple, like okay, lead and like have your own opinions, like basic stuff, whatever. But then it just all gets into your head. Like that's the thing.
Your issue is you're trying not to mess it up. And that will lead you to messing it up. Counterintuitively, you have to be okay with messing it up. Because you can do everything perfectly and it still not work out. You can do everything perfectly and still not work out. And you can do everything wrong and it does.
I guess I just gotta build that mindset, like it's okay to lose or just, you know. Yeah.
Right. Your goal should probably most likely be authentic expression. Right now, this is concept that I want to dive deeper into in my content. It's about like what is animating you. By animating you, it is what is the belief or the goal that is influencing your behavior. Okay? So some guys are animated by the goal of not losing the woman. So they're going to be people pleasers. They're going to bend over backwards. They're going to consume all this content. They're going to try their best not to make a mistake. And in doing so, they're going to have an erotic vibe that is off-putting. Other guys are animated by the goal of simply expressing themselves. And they're going to move in a way that's a lot more attractive because they're free. They're not looking for any particular reaction. They're just looking to be true to themselves in the situation. That person is going to be more attractive. But you're animated by not messing it up.
But how do you go about doing that even though you know like that's what you're supposed to do? Like how do you build that sort of mindset? Is it like just a mindset switch? Like
it's a mindset switch. You catch yourself when you are doing the opposite and then you just replace that. You just correct your behavior. I've caught myself doing that in real time. And then I just noticed it and then I just decided I dropped that and replaced it with the right belief, and then it changed my behavior for the rest of that conversation or the rest of that interaction. Or just notice it and then stop it and replace it with something better.
Yeah, you can control your thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Right. 100%.
Yeah, I think that's all.
That answer your question?
Yep.
All right, brother. Keep me posted on how it goes, all right?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. We save another one? Hopefully so. Hopefully so. Again, people, if you have a question pertaining to dating and relationships, you can hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person. I will bring you up and solve your issue. But I hear him, though, especially being 20 years old. There's a lot of advice out there that's conflicting. Yeah, come over to death row, baby. Come over to death row. Come to the Big Sig fam. We well taken care of over here. That's where the best advice lives. The rest of that shit is toxic. It's not sustainable. It will lead you to a miserable place. Would your dog want attention? Attention. That's what he wants. You get these poodle breeds. They are Velcro dogs. They don't want to not be around you. That's all that is. If I could let my dog, he would be in my skin and just lay on me 24/7. Very needy but loving breed, yes, for sure. I mean, I got 2 of them. So I got a miniature poodle as well. I used to get so annoyed with her because, like, if I put her in her crate, she would just look at me. She would just try to, like, sustain eye contact. And I was like, you're really annoying me right now. You're really annoying me right now. You have to stop doing that. What's up, Eva? That's why all dogs have separation anxiety right now. All right, what kind of questions do we have? You can either request up or you can leave a question in the chat and I will answer it if we do not have an active caller. My husky is so calm. She does love rubs. You got a husky? They too vocal for me. Huskies can damn near talk. Way too vocal. Bella is the closest thing to securely attached I've experienced. I hear you. I don't think when I got a dog, I didn't want like a secure dog. I wanted an anxious dog. Not like literally, but just one that like wanted contact and wanted to be around you. Careful what you wish for. That's all I will say. Be careful what you wish for. My husky only barks when she wants food. My golden doodle will put his paw in the bowl and look at me. He don't bark. He'll look at me. He's done it since he was a puppy. Who's coming on the cruise? Who else is coming on the cruise? I just put a deposit on that bad boy today. Set me back. But yeah, make sure y'all try to schedule things as soon as possible. Possibly. I don't want to hear possibly, Christina. I don't want to. This last thing I want to hear from you was possibly. You're coming on the cruise. I did, CC. I appreciate you. Lady Miles, my boy Willie said he's down to come. So I got good news and bad news. Willie said he's down. Bad news is Willie is 5'6", I think. Willie is 5'6" on a good day. So I don't know if that's, good looking guy though. Well, he's a handsome guy, but he is a short one.
I was about to say, y'all won't be disappointed in Willie.
No, Willie's a handsome
Or
dude.
chose well.
He's a what they call it? What's the name of that? Kappa. That's what it is. Kappa.
Okay.
I don't know why all the guys are on the shorter side. That definitely was not by design. It just happened to be that way. I was one of my homeboys. Shelton was like 6'2". He might come. I'm gonna say if he can come. He was supposed to go to the NFL, and Shelton was like, when he saw the pictures, he was like, question. It was like he uses the N word like question, nigga. How tall is everybody? And I was like, bro, everybody was short. He was like, yeah, 'cause I know how tall you are, and you look like a giant in those pictures. I was like, yeah, it is. Yep. Danny number 5'11". Look how Danny was towering over people. There's cheese in them photos.
Yeah, I felt like the Jolly Green Giant.
Just cheese in those photos. So I don't know. I certainly didn't select for that. I thought Zach was 6'1". I don't know where I got that from. How tall are you, Christina? I could have swore Zach told me he was 6'1". I could have swore Zach told me. He might have said it in like his Zach way of, well, we have people. I'm 5'9". Danny's 5'11". So leave them heels at home. But he might have said it in like his Zach way of like trying to like being sarcastic. Like telling me that he was 6'1". You know how you ask him a question and he's like, yeah, bro, I'm 6'1". He'll do that shit. And you won't know he's joking.
True.
You know what I mean? You won't even know he's joking because he just says it with like in a very like monotone way. Because he was like, well, I never told you that. I'm like, you absolutely. I did not imagine that.
I don't think we ever really asked him. I think we always gave CJ and Bobby shit about it, and I think he just kind of slipped through the cracks.
You mean in person, or you mean like on the live?
Like when we ever did like mod pods and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, because it was never confirmed. Because I want to say I asked him early on, and he told me that. So I just believed him. Cause I didn't know him that well. I didn't know his sense of humor like that. And I saw him in person. I was like, oh, all right. So I patted him on his head and I kept moving. But yeah, you would think all of them were cousins. To be honest with you.
You would for real.
You would think all of them were cousins. It's like Goten and Trunks. Where's CJ? Is CJ here?
I just thought CC got busy over the years.
With the offspring.
Yeah.
Well, CC did get busy over the years. It just didn't land. Dang, it must have been a drastic difference. What do you mean, Bree Heard? Like seeing Zach in person? Or you mean the pictures? What are you talking about? Let me stop guessing for a second. CC, did you take Danny down or did he leave? Yeah, the height difference. Yeah, if you look at the pictures. Let me bring the picture up real quick. Hold on. Let me bring it up. Well, first, Willie is the guy with the hat on. Maj. That's Willie. Cool dude, in shape, just kind of short. All right? So we've established that. Now, if you look, you see Danny. All right? You see CJ, you see Bobby, you see Zach. Now, just how they're crouching. First of all, can we just give it up for Bobby and CJ's pose? That was the most hilarious thing I saw on the whole trip. Did y'all plan that? Like, what is going on there? Why are we posing like that? What's going on? Why are we holding our arms in that fashion? Why is Zach doing the Drake ducklet pose? He has this same face in about 5 or 6 photos. I don't know why he did it. And then you see Danny just happy to be in the room. Danny's just happy to be there. You know what I mean? Danny has dreamt. You know he loves black women. He's dreamt of this moment since a wee lad. He's been dreaming about it. So, yeah. That should give you like a frame of reference. Now, if you just look at Sale, Zach, and CJ again. Sale, Zach. I said Sale and Zach. Zach, Bobby, and CJ. Look, just take note of how much they're crouching. There's not much bend in that knee. You see that? There's not much bend. They're not bending a lot, right? That can kind of give you a little gauge on what we're working with.
Don't do my brother.
But you
like
know
that.
what? Here's the thing.
Don't do my brother.
No. Let me land the plane. Here's the thing, though. I will point to all three of them. Because when guys come to me and they talk about how like they're short and they don't do well with women, I be telling them some of the best guys I know who got the best vibe, who will absolutely crush it, steal your girl from you if they were amoral, be them short motherfuckers. Bobby, ain't nothing stopping Bobby. Bobby damn near had the best vibe there. Damn near. Best vibe there. In their own unique way, they stand out in different ways. So it's like, it was like a TV show. I wish I can like talk more about the trip in like different ways and content. I don't want to do it though, but just like observations. But no, that shit ain't stopping nothing. That shit ain't stopping nothing. They're like proof of concept. Because people will tell you like, oh, you may know one short guy. But no, I got three right here who all are vibey and have no issues. Nobody would turn them down off of like height if they actually got to know them, unless it was just like too obvious. You know, like the chick is maybe 6'1" or some shit. So yeah, it ain't stopping nothing. But I do want the mods to know, because the mod ladies were like, we need you to bring some more guys on the trip. And I'm like, I've tried. It'll be easier now because we have pictures of it actually happening. But so far, the only guy who has agreed is my boy Willie, who is 5'6". So I don't want people thinking that I'm intentionally
He'll fit right in the fellas' room.
Say what?
He'll fit right in the fellas' room.
Literally and figuratively, right? So figuratively, vibe-wise, but also literally, because not too much space is taken up. So we can get 6 of them.
Agreed.
Bite-sized Snickers. We can get 6 of them in a cab and save money on the cruise.
If we fit one more, we can, with Eva being Snow White, we can do the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs kind of story going on.
See, now you're throwing shots, Danny. I thought you were defending the crew. What's going on? Bobby will not like what you just said. He would be very let's just say fit, sit, sleeps. And Eva is offended. He talking about her man right now. Understand that. She's very sensitive about Bobby. Very sensitive. So they're gonna have their little horse jockey babies. Right?
Worth the joke.
They'll have their their horse jockey babies in the future. You know what I mean? And they're gonna do the damn thing.
Lethal face cards.
Lethal face cards.
Insane face cards.
Lethal face cards. What were you about to say?
Yeah. I figured I'd hop up, give a few deets on the cruise. February 1st through the 6th, we are going on Carnival Valor, which docks on New Orleans. Some of us might pop out a little early to enjoy some Mardi Gras celebrations. That piece is optional, but the cruise is February 1st. If you need a link to it, you can just shoot me a DM and I can send it to you. You either need your passport or your ID and birth certificate to get on a cruise if you haven't been on one before. Booking's up to you. So, it's not like the B&B.
Oh.
Plan that at your own leisure.
Yeah, let me know. Send me a DM or something to let me know if y'all are planning on popping out. Okay. Serious.
Okay. Well, that's about it. That's the nice part about a cruise is now the heavy stuff is done. It's smooth sailing from here.
Yeah, sure. I was on a call with Danny and Express to get my card information. Now, it felt like when I was giving my card information, y'all were listening very closely. So I'm glad that she had like the secure payment option. I was gonna have Express send me like the her LinkedIn. I'm like, make sure this is legit real quick. 'Cause this is quite. It's a lot of bread. It's a lot of bread. So if it is a scam, that was a very efficient one. Very effective. Because her voice sounded professional. Is this a white woman?
Yeah.
Is it a white woman? Express, is it a white woman? Express is connected to the underworld. Y'all need anything? Y'all need, peptides, illegal substances, a kidney, hit Express up. She has a contact somewhere. Okay? All right, D Money. I'll holler at you, baby. Appreciate the announcement. We'll have a good time, man. Y'all should definitely, if you can. Express just said that she thinks Mardi Gras is the following week, not the week. Can we check dates on that, Danny, to be sure? Because I think when you were talking about Mardi Gras was when we were thinking about doing the 11th through something. So let's make sure it's actually going on. I don't care if it is or it isn't. It's still New Orleans. That's pretty much a perpetual Mardi Gras. Really? You did? Okay, perfect. Perfect. Danny, you don't have to request. Kiana just confirmed in the chat that you already checked and it lasts for weeks. So perfect. So what I want to see is a drunk Gigi, and I want to see a sober Hannah. For once in my life. I want to see a sober Express, a drunk Gigi, a drunk Danny, a drunk Christina. Who else? A tipsy Shivani, wink wink. We don't need you throwing them back like crazy. Not a drunk Kiana, because that's when she didn't make my peach Bellini when she was drunk. So I don't want her drinking drunk. She needs to be sober, just in case I need her. Sober Danielle. We don't want her to be dehydrated, if you catch my drift. And that's about it. No, drunk Danny. Drunk Danny has to come back out. I'm certainly throwing him back this trip. I was behaving in Dallas. I was behaving. Mardi Gras? I'm taking my top off. Hello.
Hello.
What's going on?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? What was that big sigh for? What's going on?
Oh man. Because the last time I spoke to you, it was about like the scenario that I was going through with that therapist.
And what happened?
No. Everyone. Hey y'all. I mean, a lot happened.
Talk to me.
Okay. So in our I guess 2 weeks of knowing each other, I would say, okay, it's like been 2-3 weeks. We were supposed to meet this weekend and it didn't happen. The date didn't happen. Yeah. And it was because so we had gotten into like, I'd say like one argument per week. I'd say the last 2 arguments were just about the second argument that I got into it with him. I'll take some accountability. I definitely, something kind of gave me the idea that I needed to see how spicy he gets when he deals with conflict. And so I have this tendency to kind of challenge and poke to try to find an issue. But it kind of like fired back on me because I saw how he gets, in a sense. Like he comes off like very
like he'll come off very intimidating and like show contempt. And I don't think I even said anything crazy, but I was just challenging him, like just kind of asking him more questions. I was kind of, saying things like along the lines of like, oh, like you're 40, like why do you date girls that are younger? Just like kind of pushing like, why aren't you dating women your age? Or like, why are you hiding like your bedroom on FaceTime? Like why are you hiding the camera? Like I was just kind of just poking and stuff, and he kind of wanted to disengage and get off of the phone or say like, hey man, and like stop it, I know what you're doing, I can already tell you're trying to like start something. And I just kind of have this like this problem with him just kind of always just kind of coming off like he has a lot of pride behind how he gets back at people, or like how he can put somebody back in their place. And that kind of triggered me to want to like challenge him. So I challenged him, and then I saw like how he spoke to me afterwards. He was very disrespectful. And I understand, like, I can't really decide how people want to get back at me, but I could tell from like his way of how he handled the conflict that I'm not getting down with that. There were like things like saying, like he was kind of talking to me very like in an authoritative way, like when I tell you to stop talking, you gonna stop talking, like that. And no one talks to me like that, or like speaking in a way, I don't know, like it was just kind of like, was unwarranted in my opinion. And then there were just other things, and I just kind of felt, I trusted my instincts, and I kind of felt like, okay, like this doesn't feel good. I kind of feel a little scared. And like, I really don't know him, which I don't. But that's what I wanted to see, because I feel like a healthier, reaction would have been like man, like you're starting to be disrespectful, or this feels a little like you're bothering me or whatever, like I'm gonna get off the phone, or something, just to kind of get out. But he takes a lot of pride behind like, no, I'm gonna get back at you like hard. And I really don't like that energy, because I'm looking for a partner that would just kind of like try to disengage or de-escalate the situation, because I know that I would normally do that. So anyway, we had a conversation about it. And then before the time we were going to see each other, he had asked me about, from 0 to 10, how comfortable do I feel like seeing him, or how excited I am. I told him like 10, I'm excited. And then he had asked from like 0 to 10, like, how do I feel about trusting him or whatever. And I told him like 7.5. And then he said, what about safety, 0 to 10? I'm like 7.5. And he's like, I kind of told him that it was the same thing for me. And he was like, no, like those are two different things. Trust, in my eyes, is kind of like, how would you feel about, like, how do you see yourself like kind of depending on me or relying on me? And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe. But yeah, I haven't met you yet, so I'm not going to give you a 10. But I didn't say that, right? I just kind of told him, I explained the 7.5 just came from, sometimes I feel like there's a little bit of just trying to show some intimidation in his words, or his and how he deals with conflict. And that started an argument again. And I think, and what he shared to me was that he doesn't like the frequency of arguments that we have, and that's why he's like, I can't do it anymore or whatever. I didn't think that it didn't necessarily have to get into an argument. I was just being honest, and he doesn't like to back down he doesn't like to back down on, you know, what's being shared. I feel like I kind of probably hurt his ego when I said that, and that kind of just started something. So that's what ended up happening. So we didn't end up seeing each other. What do you think?
Well, so he ended it.
Yeah, he ended it.
Gotcha. After I told you to possibly end it, right? Here's the issue. Here's the issue with the situation. You're falling into the trap most people fall into. You're judging yourself by your intention and then somebody else by their behavior. Your behavior was just as bad, if not worse, because it was intentional. But you know your intention, though. You could argue his intention with being stern with you was, let me see if she sets boundaries with me. How you know that wasn't his intention when he reacted like that? You wouldn't know that, right? So all you did was judge the behavior. And that's all he's doing. He don't know that you are intentionally having a fight to see how he assesses conflict. All he is experiencing is someone who's making things difficult when it doesn't need to be difficult.
Okay.
So I would never do that again if I were you, with anybody. If you're going to have conflict, have organic conflict that needs to be had, not manufactured conflict so you can see how somebody reacts. That's toxicity. And that will push anyone away, especially a healthy person.
Yeah, so fair enough. But there's something so I don't do that with people that I meet in person, or I don't do that. I don't do that. It just, there was something that like I needed to find out before meeting him in person because of the situation. And I don't regret it because, I just felt from what he was telling me, the level of energy, the energy behind his words, there was something there that I'm like it just doesn't feel safe. And my body was keeping score of that. So I know I wasn't right, you know, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna ignore like my senses when it's like, yeah, there's something off. So there's that. But I know how I am with just regular people that I meet out, you know, in the wild, and who I deal with. And I think that, there was just some sort of.
I think you're telling yourself a story that doesn't match reality in your head. At least the way you communicated it to me. You didn't communicate that you felt unsafe first, and then you did that. You communicated that you wanted to see, and then he reacted, and then you didn't feel safe.
Okay. No, I genuinely didn't feel safe.
Well, that lack of safety is due to you meeting a stranger that you met off the internet. You can argue you probably would have felt the same way had you met me off the internet or anyone else off the internet. That's a new experience for you. So don't look at this as confirmation to justify the behavior. That's not it. Because also meeting him in person is not some grand thing that would have just been a horrific experience for you. If he would have came out there, you didn't want to be isolated with him. You didn't need to be isolated with him. You could have just went on a date and then had a good time on the date or had a bad time on the date, right? And it would have been the same thing as you meeting someone in person and having a good or bad date. Only thing different about this situation is that he lives far away from you. Other than that, it's virtually no different from you meeting a guy just in your city and going out with him, right? So what I'm stopping you from doing is thinking that what you did in any stretch of the imagination was the correct thing to do in this situation, because it wasn't. Because if you get to that place, it's like, okay, well then you'll justify doing something similar in the future and then rationalize why it was actually the right decision because of the information they gave you, right? That'll be the equivalent of a woman, well, not the equivalent, but similar to a woman like slapping a man, then he hits her back. It's like, I'm glad I slapped him because now I know he hits women. It's like, well, you didn't have to find that out. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't have to do that. But, yeah, I wouldn't do that anymore. Love. I would let conflict come up organically. He also said that y'all are fighting too much. Was he referencing that argument and then the following one, or was there other arguments that occurred?
Okay, so what happens is that so the first time, I think it was like a debate. I wouldn't
Uh-huh.
say it was just kind of like we were coming from two different point of views when it came to with him sharing his last name and stuff. I'd asked him, what did I ask him? I asked him if he could share his last name. And then he was like, yeah, if you share me yours too. And I kind of had to explain why I didn't feel comfortable doing that yet,
Uh-huh.
because of safety and, and so he kind of just, we kind of had like a debate about that. And then the second argument, it was related to, it was related to what we just talked about. But I kind of used to see how like we would rehash or we would like those topics would resurface in our conversations because he would still stand on like on how he felt about something and after apologizing. So he would apologize and then later down the line you would kind of hear like how he still is standing on how he originally felt about it. And so that's what I'm like, I thought I thought we kind of, I thought we were moving past that in a sense, like where you would evolve from that, and that was specifically in the way that he likes to be condescending during arguments and stuff. So I don't know.
So you did have conflict with them, so there was no need to like test the conflict thing then, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Right.
Yeah,
You were trying to
I guess
test
so.
a higher
But
level
there's a
of
lot of
conflict.
different.
You were trying to
There was
push
a
to a
lot of
higher
different
level.
moments.
So yeah, that's all conflict. Conflict is just like a disagreement. It's
Yeah.
not. It doesn't need to be like toxic or shouting or
Oh,
punching
okay.
walls and stuff. It's just a disagreement. So you saw how he handled conflict. You just saw how he handled a more extreme version of it because you were intentionally pushing his buttons. But yeah, based on everything that you told me from the initial call, I knew that something was off about the situation. That's why I advised you to leave it alone. But like one of my
Are
favorite
you saying that? Go ahead.
one of
Sorry.
my favorite like quotes is where there's smoke, there's fire. You see smoke, fire is present. Right? So when shit seems weird, a lot of people just the curiosity kills the cat. They gotta figure out what it is. I don't give a fuck what it is. Once it seems weird, once I see smoke, I'm like, okay, well, there's obviously fire over here. I'm evacuating the premises. I don't need to see the fire. How big is the fire? I don't need to see all that. How hot is it? Let me touch it. Nah, it's just there's fire there, right? So once you told me all the other stuff about like his likeness not being shown and being kind of secretive and all this other kind of stuff, I'm like, doesn't
I
make
mean,
sense.
he really bigged himself up a lot with like who he was and what he did for work and like how great of a guy he is and all that stuff. But then
Well, okay, let's
what
dive.
was
Let me
really
let me dive. Let me
triggering,
double click. Remember what you're about to say. Let me double click on how great of a guy he was. How was that communicated?
it was through him, like just the way that he would just kind of go about like saying how good he was with his parents and like how he how much he took care of his parents or just like how he takes care of like the kids he works with as a social worker and just talking about like how he's the friend, the go-to friend that his guys go to for advice and how like even his parents like value his opinion over his brothers and sisters. Like he kind of like would try to I don't know, like I know people like that and they don't have to like big themselves up that way, but it's okay. It's like it's good information. But then on the other side, with like, and then he would always tell me how kind of a man he is. So he was like, "Yeah, I'm a really nice guy. I'm really kind, and all that." But then in the back of my mind, I'm actually comparing him to my brother, and yeah, like I just kind of saw a different side to him when it came to just how he would talk about like the conflict that he would mention the conflicts that he would have with like his friends or whatever, and I think I picked up on something where I was like, yeah, something's not like right. Something's not right. So I don't know, there was just a lot to it. I can't even rethink about it anymore because we've talked so much about so many different things that I can't even get into the details anymore.
Right.
But
as a rule,
yeah.
This is why I always say I wish I can just give y'all my brain for a day. Because as a rule, when someone's trying to convince you of something, if the opposite is true, 9 times out of 10. Remember, I offended a coworker one time years ago. He kept telling us how confident he was. And I was like, you know what? I don't think you're that confident. You know what you mean? I was like, you keep talking about it. And I don't think confident people talk about it like that. I think they're just confident. They don't really need to announce it, right? So, if someone's trying to convince you of how good of a person they are, the opposite is normally true. Right?
Yeah.
A real beautiful woman doesn't have to tell you how beautiful she is. It's obvious. Right? So yeah, that's just the situation. But again, a lot of y'all can't help yourselves but to like, let me find out the truth. We don't need to. We're wasting time now. We're wasting time. Once people start showing you those signs, dip out. Just dip out.
Yeah.
Just dip out.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, I just wanted to bring it up to you because I told everybody on the chat that I would
I appreciate that.
give them an update.
I appreciate that
about that crazy story. And yeah, no, I knew as far as like just kind of how he acted about the situations. I didn't like the way that he would talk. It was a lot of like ego, pride, like there was something going on. I'm like, this guy, I feel like he would put his hands on me. Like that I really believed that. The energy that he was giving, I was like, I don't feel completely safe. Mm-hmm. So it was a good lesson for me too. I learned, I don't need to necessarily go looking for conflict the next time, because conflict is inevitable, it's gonna come. But I definitely learn now as well that conflict isn't always like just yelling back and forth. Sometimes it's just disagreements. Mm-hmm. That's what you're telling me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I should make content. I should make some content on it because I'll use conflict in videos, and I think some people are projecting their idea of conflict onto what I'm saying, and I'm like, no, you're just used to seeing people like scream and shout at one another. That's technically conflict, but that's not the only form that it takes. But I mean, I think the lesson here, if this truly is like a rare experience for you, like you've never done that before, then obviously grace is given for that, because I get your thought process on it. Still, I wouldn't do it anymore, right? I think the main lesson to extract from this is where there's smoke, there's fire. Once you get an inkling, like, something's off here. Now, you don't want to, I'm telling that to you specifically, because another woman can use that same tactic to sabotage connections. She just feels off with everyone, and then she's just going to use that to not get with anyone, right? That doesn't sound like it's your situation. So for you, if you feel like something is off, or you can actually point to what is off, right? And you can like articulate it like I did with the whole idea of the opposite being true if you're trying to convince the person in the early phases of dating, then yes, I would start to trust that and be okay without knowing the total truth. Just you have enough information to inform you that this connection will not likely not work out. So let me go ahead and exit.
Yeah. No, for sure. I honestly just wanted to. I knew I didn't want to move. Like the things that he was talking about, like about moving to Lansing and all that. Like I knew that wasn't gonna happen. But I did want to see it through because I was curious to see like what he was all about. I'm not. Sometimes I guess I put myself in situations just to learn more about men, learn more about how far they're willing to go and what their goal is and what they'll do if they just do this for just attention or what. I don't know, but it was something that I guess I just wanted to learn from.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, you got your
Yeah,
lesson. You
but
got your lesson now.
I got my lesson.
Right.
Also, I wanted to hear from your point of view, like what were your red flags from the whole thing? Like with him, like when I just kind of told you a little bit about him, you were like, yeah, that's not going to work. And how do you like automatically know so that I can know as well for the future?
I mean, the first thing is y'all are long distance and he DM'd you. Usually,
Okay.
men who DM are DMing a lot. It's not a bad thing, by the way. I'm just saying that's just the truth of this. You're not just some magical, I was scrolling, I've never done this before, but I saw you in my FYP and I just had to shoot you a message. No, you're the 8th one that day, right? So there's that. Well, how old was he again?
44.
And how old are you?
No children. 29.
29, he's 44. Okay.
He's never been married.
And
I did a background check on him.
his longest relationship was how long?
I guess like 4 years. It was like from like 29 to like 34 or something like that.
Okay. So 44, one long-term relationship, no kids, not married, on TikTok, DMing
I was like,
somebody.
these messages are hilarious. The chat.
Right. So that's all. We're already starting off on the wrong foot because you don't really post like that. So I'm not sure how he
Like on TikTok
Yeah.
or
On TikTok.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's already weird, right? So there's that.
Well, not on this account. On the other account, I do.
The other account you post a lot.
Here and there, a few videos.
Okay. All right. But still, it's still the same situation.
I'm not like TikTok famous or nothing.
Yeah. It just doesn't make sense. Especially when it's that, like, I could see, like, maybe, like, if you DM'd him and then it's, there's a pretty girl who just is in my DM, so let me see what that's about, right? I'm seeking out someone that far away from him. Just doesn't make a lot of rational sense. And it's like, then I forgot everything you told me when you first called in, but there's also the aspect of what you just told me, which is him trying to convince you of how good of a person he is.
Okay.
That's probably the biggest thing that you said so far that me, based on what I know about people, I would steer away from. I always clock that shit. I always clock
And then
that.
with him being secretive about his place, like, do you feel like he's secretly living with his mom?
No.
Or
Possibly. I don't know. But
yeah, I don't know. That's like, because I know he doesn't have he's not like wife and kids, but something's going on where I'm like, I think it's unusual if you're on FaceTime and you're like always in just certain designated spots, which was like outside of, like, on his porch and then in his bed.
Right.
I would never see him in the kitchen, or I would never see him, or I saw him one time like on the couch, but that's it. It was just weird. I was like, that's just not how regular people live when they're on FaceTime.
Right. But you also got to be okay with not knowing, right? Because even the questions that you're asking me, you're using me to try to figure out what was going on. So you're still trying to figure out what's going
Yeah,
on. You got to let that go.
I know. It's just
Because that
it's
same you
mind-boggling
trying
a
to
little
use
bit.
me to still check that box for you means that moving forward, like you're using me for that, even after we had a conversation about not doing it, tells me that when you get into a situation again, you're still going to have that bad habit.
Yeah, I have to be okay with the unknown.
Just know if something's off and then dip out. That's it.
Yeah, I do have a yeah, I have a tendency to want to like find out and figure it out.
Right. And that kept you in this
Yeah.
connection longer than what was necessary. So you want to avoid that. Okay?
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Well, thank you so much, y'all.
No problem, love. Talk soon.
I'm gonna let it go. You go, girl. Fitness.
All right, dear. Have a good one.
All right.
All right. All right. Who do we got next? We don't have anyone next, actually. It's 10:57. No more calls. My apologies for Manny taking up the last bit of the live for all of you people in the queue. But, nope. No, we don't. My apologies. You will have to catch me at noon Eastern time tomorrow. Unfortunately, you could drop it in the chat though, and I'll answer it there. But hopefully, you got some value out of that call we just had. Maz, what are y'all talking about in this chat? I kept seeing my notifications go off. I missed it. What happened with the last guest? I'm not too much to cover. Should have been here. Sabrina should have been here. Too much to cover. No drama on the cruise. Right. Can't really control that though. I can control the Airbnb situation. Cannot control the cruise. We're also going on Carnival, so I got news for you, Shivani. Drama's coming. It's not named Carnival by accident. It's not called Carnival by accident. You're going to see something up there. Something's going to happen. Something definitely is going to happen. It's the party cruise, right? Shantaka, we going to be good. It's not y'all do know it's just not us on the ship, right? A lot of other motherfuckers up there. Lots and lots and lots and lots of other motherfuckers up there. So, yeah. But I'm looking forward to it, even though it is half a year away. We're planning it so early. Me and Danny talked about popping out maybe to Cali before year's end. Just to get another trip in the books, you know? Just to get another trip in the books. It holds over 2,000 guests, the cruise? Yeah. Sabrina, stop being bougie, man. Can't do Carnival. You crazy. Stop being bougie. You be with good folks. Good folks. I don't know. I just got wanderlust for some reason. I can't stay put. I'm like, that's all the way in February, bro. It's hella far. I can't wait. What's the price for the cruise itself? I don't know. You had to go to their website and look that up. I'm packing already. It's crazy. It'll be here in the blink of an eye. I don't think it will, Gigi. I think it's going to be. Dallas didn't even come in the blink of an eye. I was treating Dallas like Christmas. I can't wait to see what Santa got. You know, when Christmas, when you were a kid, you couldn't go to sleep at night. That's how I was for Dallas. I was giddy for Dallas. That shit took forever to get here. Let us know if there's plans for a meetup in Cali. I didn't plan on a meetup. I mean, maybe, but didn't plan on it. I just wanted to pop out. I might hit up some of the Big Sig fam in Cali. That's the plan, to like hit different spots where people are that I've met, chill with them there. Pop up on CC, CJ, GG. Nancy, you definitely missed out on Dallas. You're not the only one who faked me out. There's a few of y'all I got a bone to pick with. Lolo, Gracie. They've not popped into the live since. On my shit list for sure. Sorry to hear that, Nancy. My apologies. Condolences. Which part of Cali is CC? I don't know. CC, where you at? Are you in the chat? What part of Cali are you in? CJ, you're in LA, right? I don't know what SoCal means. Okay. Told y'all geography is not as good as I am with this. I am equally as bad with geography. I thought Boston was in the Midwest. And I'm dead serious. You definitely miss Dallas. Don't miss the next one. I've always been bad at shit. I've always been bad at it. Oh, since a kid, I was bad at it. Yeah, Boston, like Master. Yep. I've always been bad with it. Like Boston's that way. Bro, I'm in North Carolina. My first MySpace photo, I'm doing this. I wish I had it. I'm dead serious right now. I'm in North Carolina. First MySpace photo. And I'm dead serious. I'll use a GPS for places I've gone 100 times. Can't be good at everything, right? Can't be good at everything. Can't be good at everything. So yes, geography is not my strong suit. I remember I was a kid before I got it was a while before I got my license. My mother was like, "Do you know how to get to your grandparents' house?" I was like, "Yeah." How do you get there? First, you have to get in the car, and then you have to start the engine. I could not tell you how to get to my grandparents' house. Couldn't tell you. I had to really focus on the shit. Because she shamed me a lot for it. So I really focused on how to get there. Couldn't tell you, though. I had to have been like 14. There's 14 years consistently. 14 consistent years of going to my grandparents' house. I couldn't tell you how to get there, though. I had no idea. No idea. A coworker who I went through a phase with left me and went back to her abusive ex in my face. Be like that, man. Sorry to hear it. What did we learn? If the ex is abusive or shitty, I already know what's going on. Depending on how long it's been since they've been an ex. chick start giving me that sob story about the person she was just with, I will show empathy, but you are disqualified. Because I already know what you like. Already know. Especially if they were with them for a prolonged amount of time. There's nuance, right? Like, oh, we're together for 4 months. Then he did some weird shit and I left. Okay, that's good. He abused me emotionally for years. When did y'all break up? 6 months ago. Well, I'm out. I'm out. You consciously don't like that shit? There's a reason why you were there, though. You're not going to like it over here. You're not going to like it over here. The homeless man can never leave. The homeless people in Cali are different, though. They don't even ask for money. They so comfortable. Well, I won't say they're comfortable outside. If you're homeless, the best place to be is California for sure. From a weather perspective, at least. Swervo, you're either not listening to me or you're trolling. Your story is too on the nose. I don't think she verbatim told you she missed out on a good man. I don't think women really say that to the man. Maybe they say that when they're telling the story about it to social media. They don't really say that to the man, though. So you might be bullshitting me a little bit. I don't like it. So start leaving that comment. How many likes do we have this live? 37K? Okay, appreciate y'all. We're going to get that to 50K next time. All right, what kind of last minute questions do we have? Because I'm behind schedule. Final questions. Final questions that are real, please. Cece, how hot is it in Cali right now? Appreciate you, Eva. Love the support. Eva, do you still only get on TikTok for the live, or do you get on TikTok? Do you actually scroll? How hot was it, Gigi? Oh, 105 degrees? That is hot. Y'all aren't used to that, are you? I'm so glad y'all got hit with that. Huh? I've been living in paradise for so long. You forgot what the rest of us struggle with. The consistent 70-degree weather that y'all get. I hate your guts. Not you, Gigi. But Cece, I hate your guts. I'm darker now, barely recognizable. Fall won't reach us until December. Is fate acting like the fall here already? Yeah, in the morning time it is. You get into the morning, it's like, ooh, I'm ashy a little bit. It's a little chilly out here. And 2 p.m. hit. You know, it ain't chilly out here. Hot as hell, this bitch. I hate that season. Like, just give me a consistent, is it cold or hot, motherfucker? Let's just stay that way all day. How do I know if a woman is too problematic, too much arguing and raging? What has been your experience so far? I'm not ready for summer to be over. I am. Got a cruise to get to. You hear me? Let's go ahead and speed this up. We ended the summer with a bang. Couldn't have ended in a better way. Y'all get a long summer. We don't. They moved in Nellyville. Go ahead and move. Come on down south. Head to Texas. You get a lot of summer in Texas. A lot of making small things big, a lot of bad mornings and nights, great loyalty from her, but you live in North Carolina too? What's wrong with NC? Hold on now. Watch them out. Oh, shh. What's wrong with NC? These are my people. I can't stand for that. You ain't go to the right spots, man. You ain't go to Raleigh. It's a little bit more. She can't control her rage. She breaks down, says she's trying to work on it. How long y'all been together? Yeah, bro, you might gotta dip out. It be like that sometimes. You might gotta dip out, especially if like how is she trying? Like saying you're trying is different from actually trying. But she has to learn how to regulate her emotions better. I was in Durham for a bit. Durham's better now. It depends on how long it's been since you've been there. Fantastic food, though. Durham got the best food in all the triangle. 10 years ago? Yeah, it's different now. It's a lot different now. Durham used to be told, like, horror stories about Durham. Durham was a place you did not want to go back in the day. A lot of crime. Now, there's a lot of poly people out there. A lot of open relationships in Durham. Gentrification is what it is. Yeah. Your cousin probably can vouch for that. Poly is on the rise all over. Is it? It's a lot of open relationships. People just don't know what's open. Right. Know her 2 years, but together 3 months. We work in the same industry. Yeah, I mean, you can do like one final push. Try to help her with that in terms of like really accurately defining the problem. Like emotional regulation is something you struggle with. You got to deal with that. If you don't deal with it, I'm out. That's just how it has to be. But that's going to do it for me, people. It's past my bedtime. If you're new here, make sure to follow. I'll be live again tomorrow at noon Eastern time. So if I didn't get to your question, I will get to it then. If you want to watch the replay of these lives, you can find them on YouTube at The Signal Dating, link in bio. I answer questions anonymously once a week on Instagram, link in bio for that. Lastly, if you want coaching, you can DM me the word coach and I will send you a link to book your call. Appreciate the miles, appreciate the chat. I will see you all tomorrow. Y'all take care.